Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Black Knights Weekly. I'm Nick DeSanctis, bringing you along for a closer look inside Army athletics. Today we'll meet a winter sport captain, look ahead to the Army-Navy Cup, and get coached up down at Clinton Field. We'll start today with our Army one-on-one. Friday night will be the second installment of the Army-Navy Cup, held at PPL Park in Chester, Pennsylvania, home of Major League Soccer's Philadelphia Union. Navy will be the number 1 seed in the Patriot League tournament. Army will be the number 2 seed, but everyone, players and coaches, are excited for the opportunity.
Get to play your rival for an extremely meaningful game, and 1 and 2 in the league. I mean, it's gonna be a great night.
Navy's a big game. Going into any soccer game, you want to treat it just like it's any other game, just like it's another regular season game, another Patriot League game for us. But really, everybody that walks around here knows that playing this team has a little something special, and it's definitely feels a little bit different preparing for this game. Can't help but say that. So we're excited. We're ready to play.
Well, I heard that it's unlike any other game in the Patriot League. It's a lot more intense, and it means a lot more to both teams. So it's going to be extremely physical, and yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
This year, we're going back. The second year we're playing them at PPL Park, and it's one of the craziest events that you could ever be a part of. The atmosphere is unbelievable, and this year we're supposed to break some sort of attendance record or something like that. Oftentimes it turns into more of a rugby match more than a soccer match, but hopefully this year we've both been doing really well, so hopefully we can make it an entertaining soccer game.
To me as a coach, it's just another exciting game. It's another game that has implications in terms of points and not so much postseason now it happens, but it's a tradition. It's an experience for me as a coach as well as these players, but it's more for me about just making sure they're prepared to do what they've done that's gotten them here and playing that same game.
It's a really neat experience. I mean, a lot of guys, including myself, haven't really played in such a big soccer venue. The crowd's going to be great. It's going to be a rowdy atmosphere, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere. I think the PPL Park experience in itself is something that I really hadn't experienced before. Like I said before last year, I think going into a stadium like that has a bigger capacity, you'd think that it'd be a little bit quieter because the fans aren't as close, but because of the number of people that show up to that game, it's definitely a pretty electrifying experience. And I think the fact that it's a night game this year just adds a little bit of sweetness to it too. So I think it's going to be exciting.
I think it's going to be a great atmosphere with a lot of people, and I've never played in front of a crowd like that, so it's going to be really new for me.
Well, one of the things you want to do as a college coach, or any coach for that matter, is make sure that the players have the chance to experience, at the very least, the best part of what you experienced as a player. And you're right, I've been fortunate and blessed to have some great experiences as a player and as a coach before I got here. And this brings me joy that these guys can have a similar experience, maybe even a little better.
A venue like that is honestly unbelievable. It's like it's like what you dream of when you're a little kid, to play in a professional stadium like that in front of thousands of people. So the environment is unbelievable. Like I said, with so many people there, it's what you dream of ever since you were little.
The Army-Navy Cup returns on November 8th at PPL Park in Chester, Pennsylvania, home of the Philadelphia Union. Come see the top 2 teams in the Patriot League go head-to-head. To purchase tickets, call or go online, or watch the game live on Night Vision. Army, Navy, November 8th at PPL Park. Next up is this week's Cadet Spotlight. This senior wrestler has been wanting to come to West Point since somewhere around the 6th grade. It's Tyler Renza in this week's Cadet Spotlight.
I've wanted to come to West Point since 6th grade, I think it was. I just starting to read history books, reading books that my parents had got me about the academy, and I just thought it was really interesting. And I didn't even know what it was about. I just liked the idea of it. And in high school, I started learning more and more about what goes on here, what the cadets are like, and just continued to reassure that I wanted to come here. Wrestling has been unreal as far as leadership development and just development as a person in general. Definitely makes West Point harder. It makes it more difficult to go through, but at the same time, you gain a lot more out of it. So in the end, things become easier to you at West Point because you go through the difficulties of preseason, through the regular season, and you start seeing that you're more mentally tough, more disciplined with the West Point side of things. I think just being with the team during preseason, every year we come in, you see it's a new group of guys, but it's the same atmosphere, same team bond, so that brotherhood. We always do the ski slope every year, and although that's one of the worst experiences we have, it's also one of the best because we come together as a team on top of the ski slope, and it's just an awesome feeling to have that atmosphere of brotherhood around you. I hope to go infantry and hope to post Italy if I can. If not, somewhere Oconus, I would like to go. So, Tyler Ronzon, I'm a first-classman on the Army wrestling team.
It's time to head down to Clinton Field. Today we're going to bridge the gap between our night school segment as well as our X's and O's segment. Head coach of the Army men's soccer program, Russell Payne, a former goaltender at the University of Maryland, and various stops along a professional trail. He's going to show us how to take a goal kick.
I'm Russell Payne, head men's soccer coach at West Point, and today we're going to demonstrate a goal kick. Okay, our first order of business when we have a goal kick and the ball goes out of bounds is we view goal kicks as opportunities to maintain possession, not opportunities to put the ball back in for a 50-50 situation. So what you want to do when you first have a goal kick situation as a goalkeeper is quickly get the ball back inbounds into your hands, and as you look to set it up, look to see where your players are potentially open and available. Do I have any players on my team available that I can quickly find to complete a possession pass to their feet? So in this situation, I've picked the ball up, I've looked up, I've seen that I have a defender or a midfielder or maybe even a forward in a great position where I can play him a ball to his feet or into him where he has enough time to help us maintain possession. And if that's the case, whether I'm to the right, left, or middle of the goal box here, I'm going to put the ball down quickly and I'm going to play that player to feet so that he can receive it and potentially turn per my direction, play it back, or play to one of his teammates. Let's say that you looked up to see if you have a quick option to play the ball off of a goal kick off the ground to one of your players' feet. And it just so happens that the team that's now defending you has decided to step their pressure up higher up the field. In other words, not allow you to play a short goal kick to your players' feet. I'm not comfortable, or my players aren't comfortable, or my coaches told me not to play any of my defenders to feet, midfielders or forwards to feet here. I'm going to find the bladder point, the bladder hole of the ball. Every ball is constructed, obviously, with the ability to take air in or put air or take air out, put air in or take air out of the ball. And at that point, the bladder is constructed almost to a point, and that's probably the least true spot on the ball in terms of your contact point. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to have the bladder point pointed away from my foot so that when I do meet the ball, I know that I'm hitting a true area of the ball where the ball will go hopefully in the direction where I want it to go. The next thing is to make sure you set the ball up properly on the grass in front of you. In this case, I've never been a big proponent of that some are of teeing a ball up because I believe it can potentially affect your natural swing on the ball. You just want to make sure the ball is resting properly, not inside of a hole, but on top of the grass in front of you. If you intend to put your goal kick up to the right or left flank of the field, you're better off starting more to the left or the right flank of the goal area here. If you intend to hit your goal kick to the opposite side, then obviously you'd like to line up more towards the middle. In this situation, I'd like to put my goal kick off to the right side of the field, so I'm lining up to the right portion of the goal box. So I've sat the ball down on the grass, I've got the bladder point pointed out in the direction where I'd like to hit the ball. I've come up, I've surveyed, my team knows where I'm going to put the ball, and I take my proper distance from the ball to make contact. And every goalkeeper has their own distance, which is proper for them. Some are good on a short run up, some are good on a longer run up. I believe in going about 6 yards back, which is the distance from the end line to the 6 yard box to meet the ball. In that situation next, I'm going to signal my team that I'm getting ready to put the ball back in play by putting my hand up That way my team is prepared. And at that point in time, my focus then goes from alerting my team and picking my target to keeping my eye on the ball as I look to go meet it. I look to step into it, I keep my head down, and I swing through, and my head comes up at the point of which, after I've made contact, and my body, hips, and everything should be square in the direction of where I want the ball to go. Hopefully I demonstrated for you the proper way to take a goal kick. Thank you.
Last of the day, we hand the microphone off to the volleyball team for 15 seconds with Army Athletics.
Hi, I'm DJ Fee. I'm Christiana Fairfield. We're from the Army volleyball team. Make sure you come out and support us this weekend for our final home matches of the season. Friday night, we'll be taking on American at 7 o'clock.
And on Saturday, it's senior night. We'll be taking on Loyola at 7:30. We hope to see you there.
Go Army!
Remember to like the Black Knights on Facebook at facebook.com/ArmyBlackKnights and follow Army Athletics on Twitter at Army Athletics. Thanks so much for joining us in this week's edition of Black Knights Weekly. Until next time, for Night Vision, I'm Nick DeSanctis.